Okay, what's up everyone? I'm making this video here just because most of us are inside, and so I just want to be able to provide a few more exercises for you to do in order to make it so you're able to stay still somewhat fit in the inside without using very much weight. I try to keep everything pretty lightweight, but for the most part it's going to be unweighted or very lightweight in the exercise. All right, big focus here is just big arm circles, okay? All the way forward, all the way backward. Okay, working on range of motion as well as strength in the shoulders. Really try to reach back as far as you can, all the way up as far as you can. Again, as always, try to control that spine. Okay, I can get further back if I arch my spine, but that's cheating. Okay, control that spine as you're going back and back up and through. Okay, so one thing you want to do with the dowel is try to keep the arms straight and go up all the way back. I know you weren't able to really get to this when you came in, but this will be a nice little end goal to make sure that pec minors get nice and loose. Okay, the other good one was to go take the dowel. I'm having my right hand, I'm going to bring it right back behind me, grab it with my left hand and just kind of pull it up. I guess for you want to do it on this side, left hand, grab it with the right arm, then pull the dowel up and let that arm externally rotate. All right, so this is going to be a stretch for the back part of the arm. What you do here is you want to make sure that your shoulders are stacked right on top of each other. You're going to have a nice place for your head to lay down and relax. And then from this position, you're just going to take your arm, going to press it down as far as you can there, and then even give a little bit of a resistance here. Come back up, relax, and then come back down. Give some resistance, come back up. On to, I guess, our calves. Take one hand, I guess I'm going to take my right hand, I'm going to ball up in a fist and put it down on my forehead on top of my fist. I'm going to turn my hand, I'm going to turn my palm so the hand's facing straight up. And then I'm lifting all the way up. I'm going to try to keep my elbows straight as I can as I'm lifting up. So first thing here, we're going to go, and this was just called a Hindu push-up. And so what you do is you first kind of sit back, keep the legs straight, bend the knees, come all the way up and through, go back, bend the knees, come all the way up and through. And this just works kind of the full range of the scapula here. Okay, another one that I like is keeping your hands somewhat wide, shifting to one side, shifting back, shifting to one side. I'm really trying to keep my shoulders pinned as I go through there. Shifting to one side, shoulders pinned, elbows close to my body. Okay, and then another good one is just doing like a normal push-up and clapping your hands in between. All right, so we're gonna start with the legs crossed here, and we're also gonna try to get our butt all the way up against the wall. Okay, make sure that the spine, all the way up through from the low back into the mid back and up into your head is all connected to the wall. Then I'm gonna bring my elbows and my wrists, I'm gonna put those up against the wall as well, and I'm going to lift up, come back down. Lift up, come back down. If you get pretty good range of motion here, you could add some weight. All right, so I'm starting off with rotating in the spine. So I'm bringing my hand out in front of me, knees wide. I'm going, rotating in the spine, making everything move, making sure my hips are locked in as I'm going through, and I'm following the weight with my neck and my head as I'm going all the way up. Okay. All right, so for this one, I'm just gonna go and squat down. I'm gonna start with my palms facing towards me, try to keep my spine up the best that I can. Then from here, I'm just gonna take one of the dumbbells. I'm just gonna go back, twist that hand open, come back down nice and controlled, switch sides, okay? I can also do this without the weight, where I'm just going here, lifting up one side, coming back. Lifting up one side, coming back. So you have two options here. One, you could do a push-up and then row, or you could just go into the row. Key thing you want to think about as you're doing this is notice my hips aren't moving. Okay, you want to control your hips. I'm using a lot of core in order to do that. My feet are nice and wide. I'm just pulling straight up. Keep going. Also, when you pull up, keep that elbow in. Don't let that elbow go off to the side. Keep it in.
On you.
For this one, I'm just going to start with my thumbs down, and I'm just lifting right up to the side. This is really just good for working the back of the shoulder. Start out in this position. From here, one of the key concepts I think we need to be able to better understand is when you're going down, you really want to keep your elbows at about a 45-degree angle. Okay, a lot of times when I see people doing push-ups, we see this type of thing going on. We don't want to do that. We want to keep our elbows right at 45. That's just much more healthy for the shoulder. Also, when you're going down, try to squeeze those shoulder blades together, okay? We're going to be trying to get rhomboid activation as well as pec activation as we're going through the exercise. If we get too much of just working on the pec, then we're not going to be able to get a good amount of balance between each one of the movements, okay? So from here, now all of a sudden I just go through that push-up and I'm getting a much greater stretch on my left side compared to my right side, which is something that's going to end up happening if you're a pitcher and a quarterback. Okay? As I'm going to push up, come up, and I'm going to stabilize here. I'm going to hold, make it so I'm really challenging my stabilization within one side. Then I'm going to come back, hold, okay, get into that same position. Notice my feet are stacked here, pushing up, hold, and this is making it so I have to challenge my whole, again, range of motion within this down shoulder and also stabilization within that down shoulder, okay? It's also making so my core is going to get challenged as well as I'm holding myself up here. I have to use my QL or my lateral stabilizers in my core, my spine, in order to hold myself up. All right, so for this one, what we're going to do is we're really thinking about pulling across and working the posterior delt, the back part of your shoulder. So you're coming across here and you're pulling straight back, okay? So you want to really be thinking about, I'll go on this side as well. So I'm coming across and I'm pulling, I'm keeping my elbow to 90 degrees. I'm also keeping my elbow up, okay? But just because I'm keeping my elbow up doesn't mean that I want to allow my shoulder to come up or my trap to come up, okay? So make sure you're keeping that trap down and keeping that elbow up as you're stretching and pulling across. All right, so this one's another exercise for the shoulders, just trying to build kind of the mid-back. You could be on the bench, it could be a flat bench, it could be slightly inclined, either way works. You just start off on your stomach here. You want to keep your hands high the whole time, and you're just moving your elbows down, moving your elbows up, moving your elbows down, moving your elbows up. Really trying to work on developing that mid-back here. All right, so this one's more for the mid-back. We're gonna be laying down here onto the bench, and we're going up here with the dumbbells, and then from here, we can just go right into side flies, or we could also hold and go circles forward, and then also go here. And then from here, you're starting with your weight down by your hips, and then you're just coming right up overhead, coming back down, coming up overhead, and just controlling that all the way through. All right, I'd say you probably want the band to be a little bit closer to even here with the pole. But what we'll do is just really focus on the idea of just getting that shoulder packed down and across, okay? And then I'm just going to, I'll go more of the T here. I'm just gonna pull right across. When I did the T one, I want that palm to be a little bit more facing towards, I guess straight ahead, or I don't want to be as much here. When I pull down and across, I want that palm to be facing more down, and then when I'm pulling across, I want the palm to be facing more straight, and then we could even probably reverse it here as we're pulling up over top. So now I have my grip a little bit changed. So I went from having it underneath here to pull when I'm pulling all the way up and across, again packing that shoulder. I'm gonna flip my hand around, grab like that, and I'm pulling right across, and then also when I'm pulling down and across. All right, so I just got a couple light weights here. I'm gonna bring my elbows up to about the same height as my shoulders, and I'm just going to internally rotate as far down as I can. I wanna really focus on not raising up my shoulders as much as I can, or like my traps, try to keep my traps out of it, really trying to almost pinch my shoulder blades together and just increasing the ability to get internal rotation within that shoulder. All right, so the key one for this exercise is make sure that the elbow stays nice and attached into right next to your body. So what you want to do is, as I'm turning here, I have my elbow right up close, and I'm just going to pull off to the side as far out as I can. I'm going to try to hold that for a couple seconds and then come back. And I'm gonna pull out as far as I can, keep that elbow attached, and come back. I'll show you guys as well what it kind of looks like. So I'm here, I'm just gonna pull out as far out to the side as I can, keeping that elbow in, and then come back. As I'm doing this, one of the things that you want to focus on, I'll go back to the side, don't let this back go into an extension. I'm controlling my core as I pull off to the side, and then coming back. Okay, one of the big things that we try to do is we want to make sure that we get plenty of rotator cuff activation. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to first start by pulling the band. I just have it attached onto like a door or anything like that. I'm going to pull the band and make it so I have a nice 90-degree angle from my wrist to my elbow to my shoulder, and then from here trying to keep my keep my hand aligned with my head. I just want to press straight up overhead. Okay, and that's going to make it so I have to engage in all the muscles of my rotator cuff in the back. All right, this is a good exercise to build up your anterior shoulder. So you're just here and you're keeping most of your weight back on your toes, and then you're just going and pushing up right from there. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you really enjoyed it, and if you did, you can subscribe down below, and that way you can get updates on any of the new videos that we get. Also, if you want to, you can check out some of our other breakdowns for speed and throwing. We have exercises, also jumping mechanics videos, a lot of great stuff within our channel. Hope you enjoy.